What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys already know, when it comes down to the lab within Battlefield 6, typically everything gets leaked out instantly. And yeah, some more leaks have come out, and we are seeing pretty much the whole Battle Royale experience. Now, I gotta be honest, there are some things that look pretty decent and some things that I'm a tad bit concerned about, which of course I'll discuss later on in this video. But I'm also seeing statements all over the internet that are trying to claim that Battlefield 6 needs, 1010% needs a BR, or else it won't be successful. And I gotta be honest with you guys, that is the furthest thing from the truth. As you guys can see right here, this is a post by Battlefield Wire, which actually got a pretty decent amount of traction on it and a lot of likes. But they said, I'll say it, Battlefield 6 needs a Battle Royale. It's absurd to say otherwise. And this isn't the only post, ladies and gentlemen. I've been seeing a lot of other players saying the same exact thing. That the only way Battlefield will ever be able to thrive and actually be successful within the overall FPS scene is if it has a good BR attached to it. Which, I gotta be honest with you guys, that is the biggest load of crap I think I've ever heard. Now, will a good BR hurt the Battlefield franchise? No, not at all. And honestly, it can only improve Battlefield if it's done correctly. As we all know, Battle Royale is the most popular genre of FPS or even third-person games out there. Let's be real. Whether you like it or not, and I'm someone who doesn't enjoy BRs that much anymore, but even I can acknowledge that that is what everybody wants to go ahead and watch. You know, it's the most watched category on YouTube, most watched category over on Twitch. Everybody's always talking about it. Even if you bring up, like, Call of Duty, for example, the majority of people out there, if you ask anybody, just, you know, go to a McDonald's or something and say, hey, man, you play Call of Duty? I guarantee they're not going to mention anything about 6v6, but they'll sure have a lot to say about the Warzone experience. So trust me, I completely agree when people say that BRs are very popular, right? They are. It's just the reality of things. Again, whether you like it or not. But to say that Battlefield 6 desperately needs a Battle Royale and should be mandatory, and there's no other way of viewing it, that is a false statement. First and foremost, not every game is successful when it comes to adding in a BR. A lot of titles have tried to do such a thing, and over half of them have failed. Let's be real. The only reason Call of Duty's BR was able to go ahead and pop off was, one, you know, they hit right when console was finally getting their turn at trying Battle Royales. Because you have to keep in mind, the Battle Royale phase was on PC exclusively. If you wanted to play it, you needed a PC to play stuff like H1Z1, when DayZ had a mod for a Battle Royale, PUBG, all of that stuff was PC exclusive. Then started come, you know, Fortnite, Blackout, and Warzone. Obviously, as we all know, was the first free-to-play model that Call of Duty pushed out there. They struck when they should have struck. They got lucky, honestly, especially during the pandemic. And, of course, the Call of Duty name is tied to it, and as we all know, Call of Duty is the most well-known franchises out there when it comes to FPS games. There's a lot of reasons why Warzone is so successful, but all the other competitors got to think about it. They're all games based off of Battle Royales. Apex Legends, it's a game that's only a Battle Royale. Fortnite, it's a game that's only a Battle Royale. Of course, it started off as something different, but the mass majority of people know it as a Battle Royale. A lot of these Battle Royales or even extraction shooters start off as exactly that. Not games like Call of Duty or Battlefield or any other, you know, franchise that's already established, branching out, trying to tap into the Battle Royale marketplace. Typically, they fail. I'm not saying that it's going to fail for Battlefield, but I'm just trying to state that that doesn't mean the game is going to be successful. And also, we need Battlefield to be Battlefield, right? That should be the moral of the story. I see a lot of these big streamers coming out saying, oh, well, Halo Infinite failed because it didn't have a Battle Royale at launch. That is the most brain-numbing take I've ever heard of in my whole life. There are 1,000 reasons why Halo Infinite did not pop the way it should have, especially including the lack of content. The game had nothing to do. I mean, shoot, Halo Infinite is the first game that didn't even launch with Forge. Like, you expect Halo fans to play a Halo game that doesn't even respect, you know, the cultural awesomeness of Forge? I mean, geez, I mean, what can you even say about it? It didn't die because it lacked a BR. It died because it lacked everything that makes a Halo game fun. The combat was fun and all that stuff, but everything else was not present, and it took way too long to go ahead and introduce. Go back to Halo Infinite current date, a lot of people think it's better, but guess what? It's too late now. And the same thing with Battlefield. You know, Battlefield, yeah, it can have a great BR, but if the game itself is not good, it's going to flop. Now, luckily for us, it's good. We played the betas. We've gotten a lot of action. I'm in love with Battlefield 6, which gives me confidence that when the Battle Royale comes out, everything should be pretty dang smooth. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that the game doesn't need a BR. The game should be focusing on what makes Battlefield good in the first place. That should be their main priority. A Battle Royale is not going to save the overall franchise if the base game sucks. You know, it's just not going to happen. A lot of the Battlefield crowd will just simply get up and leave the overall experience. So I gotta be honest with the guys. No, I don't believe it's absurd to say otherwise, to the fact that people are believing that Battlefield 6 needs a Battle Royale. No, it needs to be Battlefield first. And as I stated, if they can incorporate a good Battle Royale alongside that, that's great. But the core Battlefield experience has to be solid. But with that being said, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the whole Battle Royale experience pretty much got leaked out there. I'll leave a bunch of links down in the description of this video so you guys can go ahead and see with your own eyes what the map looks like. Not too shabby. It actually seems pretty decent. And keep in mind, this is a early build of the Battle Royale experience. So, don't jump the gun just yet. The full version is probably going to be a lot more polished and looks much better. But, for the version that we are viewing here, not too shabby. And a lot of the stuff alongside the Battle Royale experience doesn't sound bad either, as you can see right here from Temporal. And Battlefield 6's Battle Royale, strike packages let you call in tools for different situations. Kinetic strike, prototype orbital firepower, devastating to structures, and precise with a minimal blast. And also power weapons, potentially a railgun or minigun, both found in the files. That sounds awesome. But Temporal also goes on to say, additional Battle Royale strike packages, airstrike F-16, anti-vehicle crate Javelin, artillery strike, redeploy unit, UAV overwatch, smokescreen, resupply drop, and custom weapon drop. Now, I am happy to hear that you can get air support and also anti-vehicle crates, at a quick disposal. I'm assuming you'll probably be able to call that in very easily because, there are going to be vehicles on the map, and in a Battle Royale experience, when, your lives are short, you don't want to just be wasting lives again and again and again. You're going to want to be able to take out these vehicles easily. So I'm glad that it's not just going to be like you can only find rockets on the ground. And, if you don't find one, you're crap out of luck if you run into a vehicle. No, if you save up enough points for an emergency and you do run into a vehicle, everybody can probably go ahead and obtain something to go against it. So I do like that. But I'll be honest with you guys, although this stuff does sound pretty good, I'll be real. The reason I got out of Battle Royales and the reason I don't really play them much anymore is because they kind of strayed away from what BRs were all about in the first place, surviving. And I know that's not popular anymore, and the trend, even with PUBG even took away, the one life, version of the mode, and they have respawns now. It's just, I know it's the trend to move forward with. But I feel like when I was addicted to BR, and again, you have to keep in mind, this is just my opinion. Just because this is my opinion doesn't mean this BR is going to be bad, and I don't think it will be. I think it'll actually be pretty decent, and it might potentially be able to compete. With how good the base version of Battlefield 6 actually is, I am very curious to see what else they have in store. Pretty much anything with the base gunplay, movement, and just flow of Battlefield, I will enjoy it probably across the whole board. But I loved BR back when it actually had some survival aspects with it, and you actually had to care about your life because if you died, your friends either had to A, back out of the game if it's, very early on, so you don't have to sit there for 20 minutes doing nothing, or again, B, stick in the game and you have to wait 20 minutes until the game finishes up, or, they die and they don't end up winning the game. I kind of miss those days. It added that extra adrenaline rush, and you actually cared about your life, and you didn't want to die, and you wanted to play smart. A lot of these Battle Royales are pushing more towards kill hunting modes. It turned into a giant free-for-all or giant TDM over it being a giant survival-based, game. Back in the day, you would be shocked if you saw 7, 8 kills, on a winning match. Nowadays, if you don't get 20 to 30 kills and win the lobby, you're a scrub, But that's the direction that these BRs are pushing. But, seeing things like UAV overwatches and custom weapon drops, that's the one that really gets to me. I don't like that. And the redeploys, being able to redeploy your teammates again within the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale experience. I get it. They're probably trying to gun at Warzone right now. But man, oh man, boy, do I miss the days where, you didn't rely off of getting custom weapon drops. You had to find your weapons. You had to find your attachments, each one individually. You had to find your armor. You had to get chest plates. You had to get helmets. You had to get bigger backpacks. You had to actually care, about your character, about the loot, over just running around trying to stack up as much cash as possible, or however they'll, handle the point system in this game, and, get all the stuff that you need. UAV, so you can constantly scan and hunt. You never have to worry about how many people you push, because you'll be able to get bought back if you make a bad push, and you'll always be able to have whatever weapon you possibly want, instead of, having to work with what you got. And if you see something else in another person's hands, you have to actually kill them to take it. No, you just save up enough points and you get exactly what you need to go. I don't know. That alone will probably make me not really care that much. And now, obviously, I'm more of a base Battlefield fan myself, so I'll always be up in Conquest and Breakthrough. But that alone, I'll give it a go. But personally, I just really wish BR would stop pushing in that direction. But again, I would love to know what you guys think about this all down in the comment section below. This is my personal take. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. I know my community doesn't really like Battle Royale, so I'm sure a lot of you guys will probably not have much nice to say. But please, if you can, be respectful about it. Especially if you see people who do enjoy BRs. Be respectful about their takes, and I do want to hear what they have to say about this. Do you like the direction that these BRs are pushing, more fast-paced, more action-packed, in your face, or do you kind of agree with my statement where I kind of miss the OG days of survival Battle Royales and caring about your life a little bit more? But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post here daily at 8 morning Eastern Time. And we also double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything between COD, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, Gears of War, pretty much any first-person or third-person shooter. We try to cover all the details, news, upcoming content, all of the above on this channel. So, of course, subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I can link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.